Here comes the old watchman again with his collection of maps and dog-eared canal literature, just as if he'd never shown it to the boys a dozen times before. The Lehigh Canal, he always explains, got its water from and followed the Lehigh River. Used to be used mostly for hauling coal from the Pennsylvania anthracite regions, some 70 miles above Easton. South from Easton, here, the canal followed the Delaware River most of the way and was called the Delaware Canal. A big dam across the Lehigh at Easton channels the waters of the canal and river so that they feed the Delaware Canal. Rest of the water spills into the Delaware River. Coal barges from the Lehigh were often ferried across the Delaware River here and sent on to New York Bay through New Jersey's Morris Canal, whose gateway still stands on the banks of the Delaware at Phillipsburg, like a massive monument to the canal era. Pennsylvania's Lehigh Canal and River merged as one in many places. This unique cable bridge, about 2 miles above the Easton Dam, in spite of its roller coaster characteristics, was built to accommodate mule teams in the serious business of transferring the canal boat route from one shore of the Lehigh River to the other. It was always kind of a dreamland through here. He stands there sometimes staring. I'm sure he has wonderful visions of boats still coming through. In their heyday, there were over 2,000 boats operating through the Lehigh and Delaware canals, capable of carrying 70 to 80 tons of coal, sometimes with the captain's family to boot in the tiny stern end compartment. Every few miles, the boats had to be put through a lock which carried them to a higher or lower terrain. Fistfights often flared between captains to determine whose boat was going through first. In spite of the snail's pace light in which canal transportation is regarded today, you moderns would stare bug-eyed if you could have seen with what speed canalers put their clumsy 100-foot hulls through a lock. Well, not quite this fast. These scenes were taken when movies were silent and films were projected slower. Once inside the deep stone wall chamber, water level was regulated with the gates, producing the smoothest running, most powerful elevator ever conceived by man. Tons of coal hoisted as smoothly, as silently as a mere leaf on the water's surface. Only minutes after entering the lock, sturdy mules had the boats on their way again. But, as we've seen, the pace of the iron horse could not be matched. When fallen revenue dropped and spring floods rose, ripping away the banks, with no money for repair, 100 years of American transportation history went down